Hello everyone, welcome to Street Politics with Talessia. I want to chime in on a few things that I was thinking about. You know what I'm saying? About being a conservative, what conservative values, what they stand for. So I had a debate one time with somebody on my page. I had did a Brexit video or whatever. And he was like, okay, it's okay for you to leave the Democratic Party, but why do you have to say you leaving a Democratic plantation and stuff like that? And I explained to him, like, you must have watched my video, because I never once used the word Democratic plantation, because to me, I don't have to use or say stuff like that. And one thing that I'm big on, and I always try to do, is I'd rather stick to the facts at hand and debate you on, on what's going on right now. I don't like when people bring up old stuff, because if people bring up old stuff, they give them the chance to bring up my past. If we gonna bring up the past of the Democratic Party, then they should be able to bring up the past of anyone else. People change, things evolve. Now, to me, we have a lot of stuff that we can talk about that the Democrats do today, that I don't have to talk about what y'all did in slavery, how y'all didn't sign off on this and y'all didn't do that, things like that happened 30 years ago. I can talk about some stuff that y'all just did last week. I can talk about some stuff that y'all just did. Kamala Harris just did now. You say you a women's right advocate, but here it is, your top aide was able to pay a $400,000 settlement for a sexual harassment suit. This your top aide. He was able to resign. Why was he not fired? See, when you resign, you get to keep your benefits. You know what I'm saying? Your 401k. But if you get fired, those kind of things are different. See, I don't have to go back 50 years to talk about somebody. I can talk about the things that you're doing wrong today. And hold on, let me take this out of my mouth. I'm just starting to see that with a lot of conservatives. I'm, in my opinion, and I do have one, some of us are starting to sound like robots. Got the same talking line, the same talking points. And I'm all like, come on now. It's enough that we can pounce on the Democrats with, other than stuff that happened back years ago. We could talk about what they're doing now, how they trying to fight for illegal immigrants over Americans. I don't like to get into bringing up people past, because people change, time evolve, and I don't want nobody hold to be accountable for something that happened years ago. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, black folks would be mad at white people because they was slave masters, but we not holding white people. You know what I'm saying? See how that's just, to me, is just a ridiculous talking point, and I think that need to stop out of the mouths of conservatives. If we supposed to be Christians, we forgive people. We forgive people for their past, their sins, their past mistakes, because we all make mistakes, we all sin. But I can talk about the things that you're doing wrong now, because when I'm debating somebody, I don't want them bringing up, oh, Talessia, 5 years ago, you was just in and out of prison and this, that. Is we talking about today, or we talking about 5 years? I don't need you to bring up my past. So that's what I don't like. And a lot of conservatives, y'all starting to sound like robots with the same talking point. Y'all got the same lines. It's just started that the Democrats plantation, that type of talk, and talking about they the ones that didn't wanted the guns and all that. That's old. That's old stuff. We can talk about stuff that they doing right now. We can talk about stuff that they doing right now that's wrong. And we need to, it just seemed like the same book written from a different person. And that's not the type of people that we supposed to be. When it's so much stuff that they're doing today that we don't like, that we can talk about. I don't have to, if I have to go to somebody in the urban community because I'm trying to veer away from saying the black community, because in poor neighborhoods it's not just black people, it's white people, it's Hispanic people, it's Muslim, it's all gender, race, and religion that's in poor communities. So I say poor communities or whatever. And I don't have to go to the poor communities and urban communities and scare them with, oh, you don't want to vote for Democrats because do you know they the one, the party that started the KKK? Do y'all know they the ones that voted against this, that voted against that? If I got to use those tactics to pull somebody away, that's a fear tactic to me. Then I don't even want to be involved with that. And if I was on the other end and didn't know no better, it's like you bullied me into your party because you bring up some stuff that's happening today. Hey, this is what the Democrats doing. They don't care about the average American citizens. They fighting for illegal immigrants and this, that, and they not trying to come to the floor to help people. I know you know somebody that's in jail. They ain't trying to come to the floor and help on prison reform. They voted. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that we can talk about that's current, up to date. And I think we need to veer away from saying all that other stuff that happened 50, 60 years ago with a party. Because all parties don't have a squeaky background. Let's be perfectly clear. The Republicans have had some ups and downs themselves too. You know, ain't nobody on this earth perfect. No party is perfect. But I think that we have better views than the Democratic Party. But I think we just need to work on targeting the urban community, and we need to stay on focus, on task of what's happening today. And like I had did a video before about, you know, you would go on TV and you would hear people saying, you know, you don't need to vote Democrat. They ran down the black community, this, that. But it's no Republican Congress people running in those districts. So all they got is Democrats. Why not start raising up Republicans in some of these districts that normally that they don't see nothing but a Democrat? That's the thing that we need to get to. And I think we need to stay focused, stay tasked. Let's talk about the stuff that's going on now. And another thing we need to stop doing in the world of politics, we can all agree to disagree and be able later on to go out and have drinks. It's not that serious. It's not. I don't dislike no Democrat or liberal person that much that I can't, after we have a debate on TV or at a town meeting or something, that I can't go out and have a drink with you. It's not that serious. We need to start pulling back for acting like it's so hateful and it's so divided to the point that we can't even stand to stomach another person. Look at what happened in the elections with Hillary and Donald Trump. They was cordial at the funeral, and Hillary Clinton over there, she that damn mad that she couldn't even handshake somebody. When it gets that bad, it's a problem with you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we can all agree, about the birther thing with Barack Obama that President Trump was saying. Even Michelle just wrote a book saying that she couldn't get over, she won't never forgive him. But in his presence as her president and as being respectful to the Bush family, she was cordial to him and Melania. Him and her and Obama was. That's what we need to get back to. Not over there. Bill Clinton looked like he wanted to speak, but if he would have spoke, Hillary would have probably bust him upside the head or probably put him out, and they probably would have been sleeping in separate rooms when they got home. Because that's what I took out of it. But politics don't need to be that dirty that we gotta do personal attacks. I can argue with you all day on why I think First Step Act should pass, why I think that Democrats they all about illegal immigrants. I can debate you with that all day, but not personally have a problem with you because you see different than me. We are not robots. If God wanted us to be the same, he would make us all the same. We are not everybody is uniquely, individually made. You have no two people that's on earth that think 100 completely alike. I might like coffee, you might like tea, you might like the color. We are all different. So that's the thing. We need to stop the personal attacks and politics and just stick to politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting too personal. I feel like I'm in a street fight. It's just getting way too personal, and this is, you got to think like this: 60 or 70 years from now, when we all dead and gone, and people that's in the public life and the public figure, do you know what the history book's gonna look like? It is gonna be so embarrassing when people get to calling us they ancestors when we dead and gone 200 years from now, and they gotta look back on the things, the pettiness that we all have partaken on, including me. I have. That's gonna be very embarrassing. Do you want history to be written that way? When we can all come together, we can go to back with each other on the politics, but leave the personal stuff. Don't do that. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do personal attack. If you gotta personally attack me, then I don't even want to deal with you. Like, I go back and forth on all my social media pages with people. I got one guy. He's a Democrat. Me and him, we follow each other. He do a politics. He like politics too. Me and him all the time. If I post something or he posts something, we go back and forth with each other. We don't personally say anything negative about each other. We stick to the subject. And then after all, we'll go on for a minute. Sometimes we'll go on for a long time till one of us will give up, be like, you won, okay, I'll see you next time when you post something. We was cordially debating with each other. Y'all taking this politics stuff way too serious, too hard at hand, to the point that you act like you hate the other side, and that's not how we supposed to be. Because I'm a Christian before I'm anything. I'm a Christian before I'm a conservative. I'm a Christian before I want to vote for any Republican. My Christian, my belief in Christ trumps everything. So I have to always step back and look at things as that point of view. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't do the personal attacks. I see a lot of, like the Cortez, I don't even know how to pronounce her first name, the one that's in New York. She get personally attacked. You know what I'm saying? On her looks and different stuff. Like you can't stick to her, to how you feel like she's not educated on what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Prove her wrong on her that she's uneducated on the things that she's talking about. That's what you do, instead of the personal attacks. And we don't have to be bringing up stuff 80 years ago. Like, I'm over that. I'm about ready to tell every conservative, if y'all say something about something that happened in slavery, y'all the same people that's telling people to get over something, but then yet alone you want to use that in the same line. Like, we can't have a double standard. And like the guy, I think that's in South Carolina, that was paying people to go pick up these ballots and stuff. Just because he's a Republican don't mean that he's not supposed to be called out, because that ain't what we about. Because what it seems like, you was stealing votes. Now, this is what we've been crying about, voter fraud. But here it is, we have a Republican that got busted doing this, and it's nobody want to say nothing. You have to call people out. I don't care what party you in. He was wrong. He was dead wrong. And he got caught in it, and they need to remove him and go on. Because you don't want no type of people like that representing you and your party. And the main thing we always talking about is voter fraud. But everybody want to get quiet because he's a Republican. No, he needs to be called out. He needs to be called out just like anybody else on any side need to be called out. We got to stop with the double standards. We can't set the bar high for everybody else, but here it is, just because who we is or who we think we is, we don't have to do it. Stuff don't work like that. It just don't work like that. So that's all I wanted to do this video on, is about how conservatives, we need the talking points that y'all talking about, a lot of y'all talking about is old. It's all kind of stuff that we could be talking about. We could be talking right now. We can really be talking about why Dow Jones is really down. The Dow ain't down because of the economy. The Dow is down because a Chinese spy. The United States want to arrest, I believe it's a female that's a Chinese spy for espionage. I guess the company she worked for, or I don't know if she owned or she worked for, it's a cell type of company, GPS 5, some crap like that. That's why it's down. It ain't got nothing to do with Trump. See, these are the things we need to be letting people understand. It has absolutely nothing to do with our economy, and they want to blame it on Trump because he said tariff king. I don't know what he said, but they trying to say that it's no. It's because this Chinese. We are in debate about tariffs because of China, because they don't want to pay their fair share. Now, him and President Xi have had great talks over last week about, him paying his fair share. But I keep on talking about Russian, I'm sorry. But a Chinese spy was arrested in Canada that's wanted for the United States for doing some stuff. So that's what that's about. So those are the things we need to be talking about. All that old stuff that y'all want to keep bringing up, we don't got time for that. We need to focus at on hand. If we're going to go into 2020 election talking about Republicans is the one, the KKK, they the ones that did that, then don't nobody want to join that. Don't nobody want to pick. We want to talk about the good things that you are doing now. Those same old talking lines, those same old stuff like that's played out, and people seeing it. People tell me all the time, you don't talk the same like I hear a lot of those other conservatives, because I'm sticking to what's at hand. I'm talking about the news that's now. That's another reason why I like to watch other people like Patricia and other people, because they don't stick to just one subject and just run with that until it just goes dry. Every day is new news to talk about. While Republicans talking about old stuff, they could be talking about how Michael Flynn was not found guilty of any Russian collusion. All this money that was paid, it had nothing to do with Russian collusion. These are the things Republicans can be talking about, debunking what the news trying to put out, acting like Robert Mueller one step closer to arresting Donald Trump on Russian collusion, when everybody that got arrested, everybody that got charged that was in the Trump campaign, all they charges was about some stuff that they did ain't have absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump. It was business dealings and all kind of other stuff that they did way before Trump. And a lot of them, I believe, Manafort, the feds been looking at him way before he was even in the Trump campaign. So we need to understand the difference. And these are the things we need to be understanding, because a lot of these news cycles is not pushing these stories. These are the things we can think about. I'm tired of hearing all the same old talk about what the Democrats did 80 years ago, when it's about 2,000 things they did this year that we can talk on. And that's my point. Conservatives, y'all got to stop those same talking head points. That stuff played out, and don't nobody really like. We want to hear facts of the stuff that's going on that's going to affect us today. Okay, we already know they didn't agree to certain stuff that happened, voter rights and Second Amendment, and they the one that started the Ku Klux Klan. They the one that didn't want to free the slaves. That was 400 years, but how many years ago now? 500 years ago. That's how long ago that was. We need to talk about and stick to the facts of today. And those are the things that we need to be sticking to. And we are not going to move people in to even want to even look at Republicans bringing up old stuff, and especially with, I would just say me being black in the black community, because I'll be looking at you, oh, the Democrats did this 400 years ago. How you going to accept me? And I got this long past. So if I come over here, y'all going to be talking about the stuff I used to do years ago, or y'all going to talk about the stuff that I'm doing now? Those are the things we need to stay focused on. And I just thought that I wanted to share this with you. Thank you all for tuning in with me. Like, share, comment. Just let me know how y'all feel about how it's starting, the conservative talking points are starting to get watered down. And we don't have time for that when there's so much other stuff that's going on. Thank you all, and have a blessed day.